When I order soup, I only expect the best. Come on now, where's the soup? Give me 100% antibiotic and hormone-free clams, exquisite veggies and hearty tomatoes, and a robust flavorful broth, in a can with a Trompo Loco label on it. It's so illegal, the Manhattan DA will want to see its tax returns, and I'd say forget about it. Trompo Loco soups, a life full of tasty secrets. Live from P&D Studios, it's This Week Live with Rocky Red Panda. This week's the good, the bad, and the Artist of the Week, Olatunji, and Thrift Shop Finds. And here's your host, Rocky Red Panda. Hey there, folks. Welcome to This Week Live. I am your host, Rocky Red Panda. I am back after a needed week break. It's like a mini spring break, if you want to call it that. Yes, spring is finally here, folks. Well, actually, it's called the fall spring, because just look what's happening over in the Midwest. They're getting snow right now. But temperatures in my area have made it above 75 this past week. And of course, all that COVID weight is kicking in when I try to put on my shorts. That's right. Pull out my shorts and put them on. It's like, why won't they fit? God damn it. But yeah, I mean, it's so warm. Well, how warm is it? Well, it's so warm that it's National Short Shorts Extravaganza, but with a sweater still on top, because yes, you're still cold. It's so warm that Amazon Alexa calls this a fall spring and warns of more cold weather to come. It's so warm that Optimus Prime transformed into an air conditioner. And it's so warm that the face masks that people are wearing seem to be getting thinner and thinner by the hour. Hey, look at my lovely G-string mask. You can see everything. But let's not waste any time. Let's jump right into this week's The Good, The Bad, and the Again, that's where we poke fun at some of this week's news. And yes, all politics are on the table. So, before we toss this week's card, I am doing something new for the card tossing. I will be promoting your business with every card that I toss, whether it is big or small. You will get your toss, and also artists will also get tossed as well. So, if you would like to appear in the weekly card tossing, just shoot me a message, leave it in the comments below, and we will work something out. But, however, this week's card is from the Shire of Black Rose. That is B-L-A-K Rose. They are part of the Society for Creative Anachronism, Inc., or SCA. Now, it says here, they are a non-profit, not-for-profit educational organization which studies the Middle Ages by recreating the pastimes and crafts of the period. I actually met them in 2019 at Harrisburg Pop and Comic-Con. They're actually pretty cool. If you like the Pennsylvania Renaissance Fair, the Maryland Renaissance Fair, or any Renaissance Fair, it's pretty cool to see them do something like this. Reenactors. They are living the craft. So, I mean, you can find out more about the Shire of Black Rose via Facebook by searching Shire of Black Rose. Again, that's B-L-A-K Rose, or blackrose.eastkingdom.org. Their information will be down below. So let's toss the card, folks. Huzzah! So, let's open our lungs up for Texas. All the COVID you can breathe. So Texas this past week lifted their statewide statewide mask mandate and opened back up 100%. Governor Greg Abbott said he's lifting the mandate against the advice of his own health experts because businesses and families have the freedom to determine their own destiny. That is, of course, if you're transgender and want to get the surgery, then we will have to decide it for you, says the Republicans. But, I mean, the spread has been accomplished. Release the spreaders! It makes you think that Florida was involved somehow. I mean, this is how the new evil has started. I mean, how hard is it to wear a mask in public, folks? It's not. Determine your own destiny makes it sound like a travel advertisement for Texas. And of course, many Texans couldn't wait to get back to the bars and drink. Just check this out. Texans couldn't wait until night to go back to the bars. They actually had to go out early in the morning, say about 12, 1. They really couldn't wait. I mean, there was no social distancing, very little to no masking, and of course, no one suspects the Spanish Inquisition! Actually, give me a second here. We're gonna try this again. We're gonna do it right. No one suspects the Spanish Inquisition! It wasn't as exciting as I thought. But we tried. But restaurant workers, however, are fighting back with the slogan, "We won't die to serve you." Just check this out.
One by one, speakers were out here earlier this afternoon and told the crowd if the governor's plan to open businesses 100%, then service workers should be vaccinated. Since restaurant and bar staffers, janitors, and grocery store employees have been working since the start of the pandemic, then the Texas Service Industry Coalition group says they should be considered frontline workers as well. One of the speakers, Karen Hamilton, has heart and other medical conditions. She says she was forced to quit her job recently because it plans to open 100% on Wednesday.
We don't have anywhere near a herd immunity to, be able to have a no mask mandate and have everything operating at 100%.
And it wasn't long after Hamilton spoke that people wearing InfoWars t-shirts and holding camera phones started making their way toward the podium. That triggered organizers to block them. Eventually, so many people got so close to one speaker, that speaker raised her voice at one of the InfoWars staffers to move. Enter all the state troopers. Even after the protest, there was a battle over who can be the loudest with the audio system. But eventually, everything settled down and the protest was...
So speaking of masking, Texas Attorney General files lawsuit against Austin leaders over mask requirements. So you're telling me you're going to punish those who wish to put safety and health first over their own governor's orders? I just have one thing to say. Go home. You're drunk. And of course I spilled beer on myself. Well, there's good news coming out of Washington, D.C. House passes $1.9 trillion COVID relief bill, and as of March the 11th, Biden signs it into law. It will provide aid to millions. It will cut the poverty rate for children in half. It will give Americans more access to health care and boost the vaccine rate. You think the bill would be a bipartisan bill, but no Republicans voted for it in House or Senate. And of course, that's over 70% of Americans that supported it. So the Republicans are okay with saving the lives of babies that have yet been born, but yet they vote against helping and saving the lives of their fellow constituents and Americans. if a flood of biblical proportions was headed towards the East Coast, and Chuck Schumer said, "We have to stop this and save people," Mitch McConnell will be like, "No, we don't. I won't be part of your socialistic ways. It's every man for themselves. Huzzah!" But speaking of voting rights, H.R. 1 passed in House last week. This bill would expand voting rights and reform redistricting laws. Boy, that was a mouthful to say. Give me a second. Districting laws. However, it says, I'm not going to say it again. Republicans celebrate this win by passing 253 bills in 43 states restricting access to voting, like in the great state of Iowa. Iowa Republicans enact new state election law, making it harder to vote. This new legislation will cut the number of early voting days by a third, down from 29 days to 20, and moving up the closing time of polls on election day from 9 p.m. to 8 p.m., because we all know that people are going to be doing illegal voting after 9 p.m. Would you like to buy a vote? I got some votes here. How about this one? This is a good vote. I smell Trump. In response, the LULAC files lawsuit challenging new Iowa voting laws. So yes, the United Latin American Citizens of Iowa are claiming the law is unconstitutional. The Republicans, the enemies of the states. Actually, the enemy of the states would be, wait for it, almost, you almost got it, so close, Spring Breakers! More like youth. The youth is coming! The youth is coming! And they have no mask and they plan to party like it's a super spreader! That's right. Every maskless man and woman for themselves. Or as Lieutenant Governor of Texas best put it, old people should volunteer to die to save the economy. So, Spring Breakers take over Florida amid COVID pandemic, and the Miami Beach mayor is very concerned. I mean, it's not like Florida is having 5,000 new cases a day. Nah. I mean, if that were true, then the governor of Florida wouldn't be fixing it so the numbers look low and then apologize. Well, he's already done that. And yes, these are the real numbers, folks. Amongst all this, Disney World is fully booked up for spring break. Yes, let's all go ride. It's a small COVID spreader after all at Disney. It's a small COVID spreader after all. Showing the different countries and how bad COVID really is. I want to sit in front. Look, Ma, no mask. I'm maskless. Oh my. But speaking of Mar-a-Lago and enemy number one who sits and eats his fried chicken and drinks that Diet Coke, let's discuss Goya. Yeah, you're probably thinking I was thinking of Trump, but let's talk about Goya. I know we mentioned it in the last episode, but listen to this. Goya Foods CEO said Trump is still actually the president and doubled down on false election claims. I mean, let's add a little salt to that wound, shall we? He said, "My biggest honor today is going to be that I think we going to be on the same stage as, in my opinion, the real, the legitimate, and the still actual president of the United States, Donald J. Trump." And boy, that was horrible English. he should have been ashamed of himself. But, I mean, nothing says Goya like the Trumps. And not in a good way. Goya away, please. Just Goya away. But, moving on to the Deep South. Yes, we return to Alabama. This past week, Alabama Senate approves treatment ban for transgender kids. So what does this exactly mean? It means that transgender youth in Alabama would not be treated with puberty blockers, hormone treatment, or surgery under a bill approved by Alabama State. Now, if this passes the House, which it looks like it's going to because they came up with a similar bill, it would make it a felony to use puberty-blocking drugs, hormone therapy, and surgery to treat transgender minors. If you violate the said rules, you can face up to 10 years in prison. Now, folks, that's 10 years in prison, all because your son and daughter chooses to be who they want to be. I mean, I'm sorry, this bill masquerades under a Save the Children umbrella, but the truth is that children who are not gender conforming, this won't save them. This is going to endanger them. It just feels like we're going back to the era of Stonewall, and all these years nothing has been accomplished. We moved 2 steps forward only for the South to take it back to the start. But moving down to Mississippi. Mississippi governor signs bill banning trans athletes from school sports. So what does this mean? What does this mean? It means is a girl can't play on a girl's team and a boy can't play on the boys' team unless they were born a boy and or born a girl on their birth certificate. What is it? Pick on the LGBTQA community year? Seriously, folks, this is not right and this is not okay. As Lady Gaga best said it, you were born this way. You were born this way. I mean, let's do the tally. So far for 2021, GOP lawmakers have pushed 109 anti-LGBTQA bills. The bills target transgender people's access to sports, LGBTQA inclusive sex education. Ooh, I said a bad word. My. And of course, health care. To all the GOPs who are signing on to these bills, I want you to think of Stonewall. I want you to think of Marsha P. Johnson, who fought hard for the LGBTQA rights. Think of Matthew Shepard, who was left to die on a fence. No matter what you do, you never change the many hearts, or you will never change the many hearts of the LGBTQA community and or who they are. History isn't something you look back and say it was unavoidable. It happens because people make decisions that are sometimes very impulsive and of the moment. But those moments are cumulative realities. Thank you, Marsha P. Johnson. That was a quote by Marsha P. Johnson. It kind of sums up everything. And lastly, let's take a look at what's happening in Myanmar. Now, where is my phone? Here is my phone. This just came in as of recently, and I really need to kind of mention it. So I'm going to go ahead and mention this. So let me go to my page. Yes, I gotta go to my page. There it is. So remember the last time we talked about Myanmar? Well, last time we talked about Myanmar, there was a woman who passed away. Let's see. We're gonna passed away. Her name was Mai Kayal Sin. Now she became a martyr for the movement that's happening in Myanmar. Well, they finally put her to rest. Friends and family put her to rest and put her in her grave. However, here's where it gets very nasty. I'm just reading this. It says, Myanmar security forces entered the cemetery under the cover of darkness, dumped the carefully placed flowers and wreaths, and dug up her grave. The following morning, in footage shared by CNN and from witness accounts, among the deterrents left scattered around the desecrated grave were razor blades, rubber boots, surgical gowns, shovels, and a bloodied plastic glove. Angel's grave had been filled with cement, a thick gray slab in place of the flowers and tributes. So the government came in, the military, and they desecrated a grave and filled it up with cement. I literally have no words to describe. You know, my heart right now is for the people of Myanmar. My heart right now for the people of Burma. You know, they're fighting for their independence, their democracy, their freedom. They won the election legitimately. And this tyrannical force comes in and takes away what was rightfully theirs. But the death toll, let's talk about the death toll. The death toll for Myanmar reaches 70. 70! All because they are fighting for democratic freedoms. The UN rights expert is looking to seek sanctions on the junta. More than 2,000 people have been unlawfully detained since the military seized power, and the violence against protesters is steadily increasing. The country of Myanmar is being controlled by a murderous and illegal regime. These all constitute crimes against humanity, says the UN rights expert. Out of all the fighting that's happening, of course, there was this. Watch this.
In Myitkyina, armed police are in pursuit. People are running for their lives. They fear a beating or worse. But during this battle, a moment of breathtaking courage. Someone is kneeling in the road. Sister Anne Rosa Nutong has stepped between police and protesters. A nun desperately pleading with officers not to shoot. The danger is real. Junta forces killed 18 people in Myanmar on Sunday. Look, there's a sister over there stopping them, a shocked reporter says. And being a 45-year-old nun doesn't guarantee protection. After the protests, Sister Anne Rosa tended to the injured. Among them a journalist, cornered and beaten.
ကျမတို့ဘသူကာကွယ်ရမလဲဆိုကိုပြည်သူချင်းချင်းပဲကာကွယ်ရတော့မယ်အခုကတော့လေနော်ဘသူမှယုံကြည်လို့မရတော့ဘူးလုံခြုံမှုလည်းမရှိတော့ဘူးသူတို့နည်းနည်းဟိုဖြစ်တယ်လို့ဆိုရင်အကုန်ဖမ်းတာပဲရိုက်တာပဲနော်လိုက်ဆွဲတာပဲ
And as the UN talks about how to help, Myanmar's finding its own heroes, those ready to step up for its people. An ordinary person doing the extraordinary against a terrifying military threat. Siobhan Robbins, Sky News, Bangkok.
Described as Myanmar's Tiananmen moment, a nun stopped soldiers from attacking anti-coup protesters. Her name was Sister Anne Rosa Nu Twang. My heart goes out to Sister Anne Rosa Nu Twang. She is truly doing the work of God. I just have one thing to say to you, sister. God bless you, sister. Because I know people out there in Myanmar will probably not be able to watch my YouTube or my show. But regardless, my heart goes out to the people of Myanmar and their fight for democratic freedom and democracy. And my heart goes out to those who have passed away, to the families, the loved ones, and of course to Sister Anne Rosa Nu Twang. God bless you. God bless you. So this has been this week's The Good, The Bad, and The Huh. We'll be right back with Artist of the Week, Olatunji Oluwadamilola, or J. Chris, after these messages. Hey there folks, this is Rocky Red Panda, your host of This Week Live, P&D Studios, and illustrator at Panda Numeric Designs. Are you looking to get official This Week Live, P&D Studio, and Panda Numeric Design merchandise? That's right. Go to my website at pandandesigns.com, click on the shop, which will take you to some sweet, sweet stuff via my online Etsy store. Alright you guys, so this week's Artist of the Week is by an artist called Olatunji. That's right, I'm not going to pronounce the full name because it's a big name. I'm going to say this, that I really didn't know there was this huge artist community out of Africa. And of course, they're very talented artists. Right here, this is Olatunji. Right here, this is Olatunji, and this is Olatunji doing some work. So before we continue, let's just go ahead and take a look at some of this work. Wow. You seeing this, folks? Are you seeing what I'm seeing? That's just amazing. Look at that. Wow. Well, that's just absolutely gorgeous. I mean, look at all this detail. That is impressive. That is highly impressive. We'll get back to the critiquing of the art here in a moment. But with every artist I have in this show, I ask them a set of questions and I take the responses which they send me via Instant Messenger. So I have them here for you. So let's talk about some of his responses. So the questions I ask is, tell me about yourself. Tell me about your art. What is your art style? What makes your art unique? If you could work with an artist living or dead, who would it be? If you could give some advice to someone wanting to become an artist. And then below, I wanted to update and give you some. Let's see. I asked more questions. So one of the biggest is, how long does it take for you from start to finish to complete an artwork? Do you work in other types of media besides pencil? Where do you get your ideas or inspirations from for your work of art? And what is your thought process of creating each piece. Lastly, when it comes to tools of the trade, tell the viewers who might not be artists about some of the tools that you use to create your works of art. Boy, that's a lot of questions, but I outdid myself. It's been a while since we did this. So, he responded by saying, my name is Oluwadamilola. Olalikan. I'm an artist, an illustrator, also a motivational writer. Wow, that's amazing. Well, I'm just making art on my acrylic journey, and I also facilitate artist growth in other artists. I like that. I mean, art is formed from my unique experience, thoughts, interests, and natural inclinations. Wow. My artistic style, I work with mixed media, creating artworks with different stuffs. If I could work with a living artist or dead, well, I would like to work with old masters, Leonardo da Vinci, because I love his style of work, his art, and he also motivates too, I should say. That's if I could give some advice to someone wanting to become an artist, well, I have a system that helps artists begin, like upcoming ones, for them to stay on and travel along their individual artistic journey. My advice: develop, create, mindset, creative mindset. Discover your artistic style. And the last one, create your own dream projects. How about that? And then, of course, I asked some more questions. How long do I take to start or complete an art? Well, each one of my pieces can take me 1 month, 2, or even a year. That's if it's a good masterpiece. And of course, we all know, as an artist, we are never done with our art. We go back and we keep adding stuff to it. Do I work with other art medias? Yes. Apart from pencils, I do work with different types of media. I mentioned to you before, mixed media. I make use of trees, beads, of course, different types of beads and machines, etc. to create a masterpiece. My ideas and inspirations? I got my own ideas and inspirations from nature, the flow of animals, and that's the way they relate to one another. All this things inspires me to do a lot. Alright, that was a lot, and I think we kind of double entendre there and went over a lot there, but we got through it. So, I'm just going to state again that I didn't realize there was this huge artist community coming out of Africa. And they're all just amazing. They're very, very, very talented, especially this guy right here. Remember the last time I did the Artist of the Week, the ball pen artist? Well, let's go back here. Let's take a look at this. 1, 2 months to a year to create something of a masterpiece. Well, look at this. We're going to start with the basics. The basics that we should know with an artwork. I'm going to move it here. We're going to start with the basic outline of the person. That was well done. We have the shading, the light shading in the background, but we got the highlights here. And if you look here and you go to focal point, it is just absolutely dead on. It's perfect. The shadows, the highlights, it's just beautiful, especially with this one. I mean, look at this. You got the lighting coming from this direction. You got the shadow. You got the wonderful detail. And then for a pop of color, just like pop art, disappearing right here out of nowhere. I think that's just lovely. Now this one, you can see more depth, but in this case, he's using depth of shadow. You got this dark shadow appearing and going into nowhere, into an abyss. You got all over here, but then you got the light. You got the light shining upon. I mean, this is just absolutely beautiful. And of course, then you got some of the tools of the trade. That's right, the tools of the trade. So, I mean, I love this artist. This artist is absolutely amazing. I guess Olatunji is his name. Olatunji. And of course, I'll have links and everything for his social and where you can check him out located below. But you can check him out on Twitter at Oluwadami Art and Oluwadami Olatunji on Instagram. Again, all that will be located down below. And thank you for being this week's Artist of the Week. We'll be back after this. You are watching This Week Live with Rocky Red Panda, only on PND Studios. Make sure to like and subscribe. And welcome back, you guys. So, it's been a while since I've done this, but through on and off, I go to thrift shops and I look for the best deals and steals that you can find. So we're going to take a look at some of those finds, what I call thrift shop finds.
Peter Pan, that's what they call me. Promise that you never be lonely. Peter Pan, that's what they call me.
That's right. Let me move my keyboard out of the way so we can make room here. So, thrift shop finds. Let's see what we got going here. Let's start with these. So, you know, you get lucky sometimes, and sometimes you don't. But let's start with some DVDs. This was a brand new Walt Disney Presents Pollyanna. That's right, Pollyanna on DVD. It's a good film. I grew up with it. I love it. This is from the Walt Disney Collection. That's right. Of course, now it's Disney Plus. You can watch that there. How about the Mel Brooks film, Young Frankenstein? Yes, Young Frankenstein. My favorite. Love that, baby. AMC Movies, Cary Grant. Digitally remastered Hollywood classics. Amazing Adventure, His Girl Friday, Penny Serenade in Hollywood Without Makeup. Yes, you got those there. And of course, good shape too. Another Mel Brooks, Spaceballs, the Collector's Edition, Mel Brooks, John Candy, and Rick Moranis. May the Schwartz be with you. And this is a 2005 edition. And we also have the famous actor Errol Flynn and Olivia de Havilland in The Adventures of Robin Hood. Yes. In 1938. Good film. And then on VHS, a film that I have yet to find on DVD, but it's one of my favorites, called Little Nemo, Adventures in Slumberland. If you remember the NES game, then this is the movie that goes with it. Very cool. Love it. And before we continue, guys, I gotta switch my glasses. These are painstakingly killing me. I've been wearing those for the past few days. I love them. They're my spare, but I need to go back to my norm. Woo! I can see clearly now, the rain has come. We have here Big Nate Out Loud and Big Nate I Can't Take It. That's right. Comic series that you can find in your local papers. Of course, he's never going to leave middle school. Am I correct? Yeah, we're correct in that. How about these? These are retro. These are Muppets. They're puppets, but this is from Fisher-Price Toys, assembled in Mexico. A Jim Henson Muppet. 1976, 1978. And of course, this is Fozzie. Let's see if I can do it without breaking it. Hi, I'm Fozzie Bear. Waka waka waka. Yep. And then over here, of course, we have an older one. This is Animal Toys Plus, made in Haiti. And this is also from the 70s. And of course, this is Big Bird. Big Bird and Fozzie Bear. Waka waka. Oh boy. Yeah, those are kind of rare finds there. And then lastly, I hit the Motor Loading records. So let's talk about these records. How about this one? Captain Kangaroo sings The Horse in the Striped Pajamas. There we go. Boom. Saturday Night Live. The original. With all those cool actors. The All Occasions album. Star Spangled Banner, Happy Birthday, etc. Who needs an All Occasions album? Why not? Gilbert and Sullivan, The Mikado. One of my favorites. I love The Mikado. Do do bum bum bum. Do 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 do. We're gonna save you for last. How about John Denver's first record, I think, called Take Me to Tomorrow by John Denver. That's right. This one came out in 1970. Virgil Fox, Heavy Organ. Bach Live in San Francisco. Pablo Light Show, Winterland, San Francisco. Yes, just look at the cover. It's like this psychedelicness and all that cool stuff. And this came out in 1972. The best of the German marches performed by Das Musikkorps L.A. de Landeswehr. Yes, German marching music. Isn't it the best? Oh, I love it. Speaking of Germany, we got Deutschland Best in Lieder und Musik. More German music. Chinese classical music with detailed and notated text. And of course, on here, they have one of my favorite songs. Let's see here. Excuse me for that. Well, High Moon is good. I like High Moon. Maybe it's this one. Chinese classical masterpieces. On here, they do have the Butterfly Lovers. That is a classic. The Butterfly Lovers. Love them. And then the best for last. This was 1929. I found this one. This is the Beatles. Yes. Abbey Road. Original. Really, 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 really good condition. My goodness. It is in really, really great condition. So this is a find. So, you guys, whenever you go thrift shopping and you find treasures like this, you know, that is like the holy grail of finding records. So I had fun. I enjoyed it. And I enjoy thrift shopping. So, I would like to see some of your thrift shop finds. Kind of let me know. Leave them in your comments below. Let me know what you find and what I should be looking for. Because, you know, I always look for good deals. But this has been a fantastic This Week Live with me, Rocky Red Panda. I would like to give a thanks to the artist of the week. And am I going to try to pronounce his name? Of course I am, because let's see here. The artist of the week, Olatunji. Olatunji. Thank you. Thank you. Your work is absolutely amazing. I'm going to be paying more attention to artists that come out of Africa from now on, because there's just this amazing art scene out of Africa. And to all my fans that have been with me for all this long, according the Artist Show, and when it was the Artist Show, now it's This Week Live. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I will catch you guys next week. Make sure you like and subscribe for more awesome videos. Till then, have a great week, guys. Peace.